In my experience, when it comes to psychiatry, there are medications that are prescribed quite frequently, and often these medications have the same dose, frequency, and instructions. What you can do for these medications is you can set up the medication name, the dose, frequency, and instructions as a favorite. We call that quick scripts, and this will significantly reduce the number of clicks and amount of typing required when it comes to prescribing a medication. So quick scripts are accessible in the quick script drop-down menu of the clinical file. To create a new quick script, we first need to create a medication. So we click the plus button, and we can do a search for the medication we wish to add as our favorite or quick script. In this instance, I'm going to be searching for fluconazole. I double click on the variant that I need, and then I put in the dose, frequency, and instructions that are commonly used as part of the quick script. I then click Add to Quick Script at the bottom. You don't get an alert or anything visual. That is normal. If I cancel out of this window, and now I click that Quick Script drop-down menu, fluconazole is available to choose for any patient. When I click on that quick script, just like I've done so here, it is now ready to be printed out. To delete a quick script from your existing quick script list, you click the drop-down menu. If you're on Windows, you hold down the Alt key. If you're on a Macintosh computer, you hold down the Option key. Whilst you're holding that key, you click once, then you let go of the key. If I check my quick script drop-down menu, you can see that quick script that I had in my list has been removed. So quick scripts are fantastic for psychiatry in my experience. And if you've got the same medication, and for instance, it might be medication 1, and you've chosen a medication, but sometimes you've got different instructions for different patients, you should add each of those as its own quick script. This will save you a lot of time. The next function I want to show is pathology sets. Pathology sets are designed where you might be requesting the same group of pathology tests for a certain condition. To create a pathology set, we first go to the request window. We search for the first medication we want to add to our set. So for instance, FBC. We then keep searching for each medication we want to add to this group. And we double click on them to add them to the group. Once we're happy with our group, we click this Sets drop-down menu, and we choose Save Set. We put in a name what we want to call this combination, for instance, standard screen. We click OK. Now, to show you how quick scripts work, I'm closing out of the pathology request window, and I'm opening the pathology request window again. In the future, any patient, you can click that Set drop-down menu, and that group of tests will appear. There's also the ability to, after you've added a set like this, you might want to request an additional test, for instance, vitamin D. You could search separately for that individual test on the left-hand side, and it works as described. So you can see for those psychiatrists who commonly do multiple tests for one condition, save it as a set first, and this will save you a lot of time when you do computerized pathology requests. The next function I want to talk about is jump points. I find jump points especially fantastic for psychiatrists. The idea behind a jump point, it's designed to save you time when you're typing a letter. The concept is that you might have a template that's already been pre-filled with a lot of information, and you only fill out certain parts of that template. For instance, in psychiatry, I find medico-legal reports, sometimes you have the same content span across 4 pages, and you're only filling in answers into certain parts of this particular report. With just one press of a key, you can go to the first placeholder and type in what it is that you would like to use. You press that same key, it jumps to the next placeholder. So I'm going to show you an example of what a jump point looks like. You will see in my template, I have multiple places where there are 2 asterisk symbols next to each other. I'm just going to highlight some of those now. To use a jump point, And first you should set it up in your template. Then on your keyboard, you press the F6 key once. You see how it jumped to my first jump point? I type in what I'd like to fill into this particular field. I press F6 again, and I type in, I press F6 again, and I keep pressing F6 every time after I've put in that particular jump point. So for those of you on the call who are watching this, if you want to implement jump points, it's recommended when you're creating a letter that you first go to the edit template screen to be able to put the jump points, being the 2 asterisk symbols, throughout the template. Then once you've saved the template and you wish to use it in the future, it's just F6 on your keyboard and you can keep going with your jump points.